Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I want to I want to suggest that you think of where you are in life, the success that you're enjoying. Think of what it took you to get where you are. All the hard work, all the challenges, all the striving, all the work that you did has got you to where you are. What you've been thinking in the past and all the work that you've done has got you to this point in time. Whatever it took to get you to this point that you're at will not be sufficient to keep you there. No one ever arrives. You're either improving your position or you're sliding backwards. How often have we watched successful people fall from grace after reaching the pinnacle of their selected career? If we don't keep pursuing, keep on looking for new and better ways to grow and expand the positions that we have reached, we become stale and actually lose ground. We start going backwards. Bob Proctor was my mentor, and he used to say, if you're not growing, you're dying. Well, that if you look around at how the world has changed in the last year, in the last 4 years, in the last 20 years, in the last decade, this is not the same world that you were born into. It has changed immensely. We have to be continually growing in order just to keep up. Have you ever heard the statement that all people want to grow, but not everyone wants to make the necessary changes to grow? The only consistent in life is change. That's one of the laws of the universe. Everything is always changing, everything is always moving. If we're not improving ourselves, we're moving backwards, we're losing ground, we're going to deteriorate. How many big corporations, major big names, did you know in your lifetime they were considered institutions? They've literally disappeared because of their mistaken belief that they had arrived. They were at the top of the mountain and they got knocked off by competitors. It's because they didn't change their mindset. They didn't grow and change with the times. When I was a little girl, Christmas time was special. One of the special traditions was the Sears catalog wish book that would come. And you could go through the catalog and pick out what you wanted. And they had a catalog order desk. Well, they've disappeared. And Amazon has taken over because they changed their shipping methods. They changed delivery system. They changed technology. They changed how they worked. And it was just keeping up with the times and always being ready to serve, knowing what customers wanted and having things ready before the customer even knew what they wanted. Now, I'm not talking about change for change's sake, but change for the sake of growth. It doesn't matter how much we change, provided we are changing, improving, growing, always looking to do things better. How can I do something better than I've ever done it before? Ask yourself some deep, penetrating questions just to check up on yourself. The answers will always come when we have a constant stream of provoking questions. And I'm not suggesting that you ask yourself the questions that you might have been asking all along, like, why is this always happening to me? Or why can't I get ahead? Or why are bad things always happening to me? No, those are questions that you want to let go of. I'm suggesting that you ask yourself questions that provoke you to think, that look at what could I do today that gets me one step closer to my goal? What if? What if? If you have a dream goal, if you've been thinking about something that you would really love to do in your life, a place that you'd like to visit, a state of being that you would prefer to enjoy, like peace, calm, maybe a luxury trip, maybe being truly loved and cherished and respected in your relationship. Instead of the usual rhetorical questions of why me? Why is this always happening? Start to ask yourself, what would that be like? What if I was respected and loved? What if my relationship could change? What if? What does it feel like to be happy? I'm sure there was a time in your life that you were happy. Think back to a time, maybe it was Christmas as a little kid and you were just overjoyed, not necessarily with a gift that you received, although sometimes those are the most memorable moments in our life, but maybe the lights on the Christmas tree, or going to a grandparent's house, or a school play, or a church choir, something that touched your heart and just allowed you to feel totally joyful, grateful, happy for that very moment. What did that feel like? The answers come from within when you have a constant stream of provoking questions, not how am I going to do that, but what would that be like? Wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't it be wonderful? And then practice that. You have to be prepared and willing to make productive changes that are required. And without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success really don't have a lot of meaning. Life is growth. If we stop growing technically or spiritually, life isn't really worth living. As Bob Proctor would say, if you're not growing, you're dying. So we've become habitual creatures, creatures of habit. And sometimes we get into the habit of asking ourselves questions that we really don't want the answers to. I want you to think about forming the habit of doing the common things in life in an uncommon way. that will not only command the attention of the world, it will also guarantee you an interesting life, a life that is filled with satisfaction every day. When you can do, George Washington Carver said, when you can do the common things of life in an uncommon way, you will command the attention of the world. If you look around and notice how many people are stressed, they talk about being overwhelmed with tasks, things that have to be done. They're always busy. If you just slow down, you can actually speed up the things that you need to do. Take the time to set an intention, to practice being calm and intentional. Take the time to start your morning with gratitude, meditation, or prayer, a quiet space to bring in divine energy, to ask the universe for help. And as you believe that you are surrounded by divine love, the universe is here to help you. The universe has your back. Everything is happening for your benefit. If you start to develop really good habits, your life can improve in miraculous ways. Every part of everyone's day has common everyday things to do. And because these are common, they don't seem important. They get done with little thought. The common things probably aren't very important, but however, when you line the common things up and you put them back to back, they become very important. Doing them in an uncommon way is what separates amateur from the pro. The author, Dr. Robert A. Russell, said that developing greatness in one's life is simple. Anyone can do it. You merely do little things in a great way every day. Russell and Carver were essentially giving us the same advice. It worked for them, and it will work for you. Commit to perform every task you tackle today in an uncommon way, regardless of how common it might be. Go the extra mile. Put your heart and soul into your work and refuse to permit negativity to distract you. Do your work with pride and satisfaction. Make a habit of doing things happily, joyfully, with a smile. Bob Proctor would say there are no menial jobs, only menial attitudes. Repetition of the same thought or physical action develops into a habit, and when it's repeated frequently enough, it becomes an automatic reflex. A person who is happy and healthy and always looking for ways to do good in the world lives a happier, healthier, more joyful life because they have the habit of looking for the good. They have the habit of going after something they really, truly desire, holding a vision. And knowing that the vision that they have will come true so long as they practice it, as long as They habitually think pleasant thoughts, knowing that they have an inner guidance system. They set goals. They look for ways to improve everything around them. And they improve their self-image. They love themselves. They talk about doing good in the world. They talk about great ideas. They don't gossip. They're not greedy. They don't talk about people behind their backs, except talk good about them. Bob Proctor and his son, Brian Proctor, used to call each other every single day and talk good about people. And that's what Brian said they did. Instead of gossiping behind people's backs, they would talk good about anyone, a client, a politician, a person they knew, a family member, a client, a coworker. They made it a habit of finding something good to say about every person, every situation. They looked for the good in things. If you make that a habit, you're going to start to notice how your life changes. So I want you to think about something that you truly desire. Maybe it's a more abundant life. But when you look around, know that the people who are going shopping so that they feel better and they buy something that they love, that's a temporary thing, because things can't make you happy. Money doesn't make you happy. Money is just a magnifier. If a person is greedy, they look greedier and more evil to the people around them and more selfish. If you truly want to do something good in life, look for ways that you can do simple acts of kindness, holding the door for someone, calling someone who you know is alone and just checking in to see how they're doing, calling or spending time with your loved ones and letting them know that you love them, and filling yourself up with things that you love to do so that you're happy and healthy and joyful, and you're serving from the heart. When you feel good, you look for the good. When you're feeling bad, a good way to feel better is to serve others who are less fortunate than you. Do you want to feel healthy and happy? What habits have you got that are leading you in that direction? Do you realize that all the success that a person has, they've acquired through habit, doing things that they didn't feel like doing, but doing them anyway, doing things with a smile on their face, a little song in their heart, not looking at something and saying it's impossible, but looking for solutions, changing their perspective, looking at things from a different angle. I know the hardest things that we've ever done have caused us to grow, to become stronger, to be prepared for the next challenge that comes along. Think about some of the habits that you have. If you don't deliberately form good habits, then unconsciously you will form bad habits. We are, each of us, the kind of person that we are because we have formed the habit of being that kind of person. And the only way you can change is through changing habits. You might have some beliefs that you inherited, and it's just habitual way of thinking. Maybe you think, maybe your experience has been that this time of year is overwhelming, or it's going to put you in debt, or you have too much to do and you get chaos and stress and angry and don't take care of yourself. There's been years that I walked through malls that were crazy, people fighting over toys, people talking about debt and consumerism. And then I would walk by a spa and it's lined up with people having pedicures and manicures. Wow, what if I just stopped for a moment and took care of myself, had a rest, treated myself to a pedicure? Wouldn't that feel nice? What if I didn't overextend my budget and buy too many Christmas presents and just enjoyed the season? What if I made some handmade gifts that people treasured even more than something from Amazon? You know, as a little kid going through the catalog and looking at the wish book, you could write a whole big long list. You could send it to Santa Claus. You could circle what you wanted in the catalog. And oftentimes things magically appeared. They became physical reality. You opened the gift under the tree and it was just what you wanted. What if we got back some of that magic, some of that belief that everything is always working out for me? I don't have to do everything, and I certainly don't have to grind it out and do it in the way I used to do it. What if everything fell into place and I enjoyed the Christmas music, having a little decoration, enjoying the church choirs, the Christmas plays, or looking for ways that I can fill up another person's heart, mind, soul? Maybe purchasing a winter coat for someone that doesn't have one. Maybe giving to the food bank. Maybe being a secret Santa. When you do for others, it lifts your spirits. It makes your heart glad. And when you're in the spirit of looking for good, looking for the good in yourself, looking for the good in the world, make it a habit. We are creatures of habit. The more you look for ways to do good, the more you look for ways to feel better, when you change your impression of the world, how wonderful it is, how joyful it is, how peaceful it is, what you look for appears, what you focus on grows. What do you really want? Peace, love, joy, respect? Think about those things as they don't cost money. What can you do that brings you peace? What can you tell yourself? What can you ask yourself? Why am I so happy? Why am I so healthy? This is a wonderful world. And ask yourself, if I really lived the way I really wanted to live, how would that feel? What would it look like? Who would I be serving? And how would that feel? As you write down the things that really matter to you, a peaceful, loving, respectful relationship, joy to the world, peace on earth, goodwill to all. We talk about that as we get close to Christmas. Wouldn't that be a wonderful way to live every day? If you have a big, beautiful goal, why do you have it? Why do you want it? Because you believe that it'll make you feel better, that you'll be happier, that you'll be healthier when you arrive. Well, when you start to practice taking moments to set an intention for the day, today is going to be beautiful, exciting, calm, peaceful. Not beating yourself up because you didn't get everything done. But what does it feel like to enjoy more life? It really does take practice to slow down in order to speed up. Slow down your breathing and set an intention. Today, you're going to do everything with a smile on your face, with love in your heart, easier than it's ever been done before. You're going to do things purposefully, intentionally. Deliberately form good habits. You are the kind of person you are because you have formed the habit of being that kind of person. What kind of person do you want to be? Practice that. Practice being loving, being peaceful, being joyful, being grateful. And as you practice, these high energy vibrations will attract more love, more kindness, more money, more abundance, more of everything that you want, because everything starts inside. Everything comes from you. Tap into the divine, loving energy and create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.